Hi guys, Durante Parks here, and I want to continue where we left off in our last session. I was going to show you and go through the document creator and show you what it does and how it works as part of the virtual office that I've created for joint venture partners. But I realized that I had gotten ahead of myself and I apologize for that. I kind of got ahead of myself and shared with you like steps 4 and 5 and didn't cover 1 and 2. So what I want to do today is pull back the curtains and kind of show you a little more about the commercial finance and training that I actually do. Now what you see here is the menu of basically my 3-day workshop: the perspective, the objectives, the science, the business, the art, and the formulas. And what we're going to do is I want to give you a brief overview of what's actually behind the scenes and the things that I actually do and how I do it, why I do it, and my mindset and approach to the things that I do and the tools I use to do it. Well, that's a mouthful. All right, so basically, I guess what's completely different about what I do is that I approach financing and investing as a game. And that's the key, one of the keys. It's a game of moves and counter moves. And it can be crazy because there are a lot of moving pieces in this game. As you can see, it's a lot going on, and it's easy to get lost and easy to get confused and not get things done. All right. So what I've done is I've taken from my 30 plus years of experience as an investor and a financier, and I've integrated systems of simplicity. All right. Proverbs 24:3 and 4, any enterprise is built upon wise planning, becomes strong through common sense, and profits wonderfully by staying abreast of the facts. I use strategies and knowledge and courage as a substitute for money. And basically what I do is I sell money. I'm in the buying and money selling business. All right. I like selling it more than I do buying it, but to each his own. Now, so in terms of simplifying this process, what I've done in the mindset is that it's the game, and literally a game. And the thing about games, as I mentioned previously, the thing about games is games can be learned. Games have objectives. Games have players. Games have plays. And games have moves. And you're supposed to have fun playing the game. All right. So that's what I do here. And it's real simple. Learn the rules, practice the moves, and begin playing. So before I go into using the software, I have to first understand the game that I'm playing so I know how to execute and use those documents. Because what we're actually doing is we're doing what I term commercial paper capers. That's what we're doing. Turning white paper into greenbacks. All right. Now, the course itself, the masterclass, consists of this. This is what it is. It's a 3-day workshop. I'll be streaming it up, updating stuff over the next few weeks and months, and you get to see what I'm talking about. So what I want to do now is go back into the back office and show you a little more about the courses, the content, and then how the document creator actually works with those things and how everything here works together. All right. Okay. You're at the back office. You're going to log in. You're going to take a brief tour of the actual course itself. Now, what's unique here is I've taken 9 hours, basically of 3 days, and built all of those systems into the back office of this website, which means you can get a lot done just here in the website. So this is where we start, and I want to just go in here. And take a look. Now, here's a perspective session. It's 38 minutes content. here's the objectives. Now, what the objective is about, it's just making your mind up what you want to do. Remember, we saw in the game there are a lot of moves and plays and activity and noise going around in the market. And if you aren't focused, you're not just haven't decided specifically what it is you want to be in pursuit of, you'll drift all over the place. All right, you'll be the double-minded man that's unstable in all your ways. You'll be moving, and you can equate and associate busyness with productivity when you're busy but you aren't being productive. Kind of like running in place in the yard. You'll burn yourself out, but you won't really go nowhere. Objectives is where you decide and focus on specifically what it is you want to accomplish. I mean, you dial into it. You make it real. You do the Habakkuk 3:2. You take the vision and make it real. You write it down. It can be, and what I suggest everyone should do is, instead of focusing on capital accumulation, focus on debt termination first. Just do that first. Let that be, in the process of doing that, you become your own client. You don't need a client. You're going to be the client. And your objective is to terminate all your debt. All right, and learn a skill that'll last the rest of your life in the process. Next, here is the science. Now, this gets into numbers and calculations, but I break it down to you because all of the numbers on a financial calculator relate right back to the individuals. Number one, perspective. Everyone sees things differently. The Lord says that he had sheep that are not of this fold. Everyone doesn't have ears to hear or eyes to see or think the way you think. And that's important because in this game, understanding what a lender looks at and what a buyer looks at and what a seller looks at, where their focus is very, very empowering for you because you can relate to them because you know where they're coming from. So when we get down to number 3, the science, we actually take the numbers and learn a financial equation and use it to make offers, to structure deals, and to create equity in deals and structure income notes out of thin air. That's covered in here. And then there's the business. The business of finance is basically making money. That's all it boils down to. It's the buyers and sellers. The market today consists of basically buyers and sellers and third parties who bring them together. That's it. Buyers and sellers of all kind of stuff. Widgets, gadgets, all kind of stuff. All right. And we have 3 sessions on that because there are a lot of ways, several ways you can actually engage in the business of selling money and make a lot of money doing it. And we're talking about here, guys, the power here is that we're talking about doing part-time activities that generate full-time income. I do 1 or 2 deals every 2 or 3 years. So I don't do them every day. I don't just do this stuff day in and day out. It doesn't complement my lifestyle. The neat thing about what we're doing here with selling money, all right, is that you don't have to pay any of it back. It's like the thrill without the bill. Who wants the bill? When you buy money, you do have the bill. Now, of course, you buy income properties, and of course, you have the cash flow to offset the debt service. But at the end of the day, you know, it's better to not have the bill, and it depends on the individuals. But what I want to share with you, and what I think you should focus on here, and the power of this, is take this knowledge, this training, these strategies, and get debt free, and then decide if you want to do it again or learn more about it. And then, of course, there's the vetting process where you have to vet the lenders, the mental checkup to make sure your mindset is right, the linguistic encounters. That's in how to have these conversations with lenders and sellers and realtors and jokers and brokers. All right. And then it's a loop. And then we go into the strategies. And that's where you then use the document creator to actually create some, to do the conversion of actually converting your concept into a reality. And most importantly, what we do is we substitute knowledge for money. All right. So now, having said that, that's what's covered in the course. That's what's built into this back office. All of this. Now, what we were last together, we were here with this document creator. Now, let's say that either I can't find a client, because I want to show you something here. And when I say that this game concept, you have to embrace it. Because see, here, the buying and selling money games, okay? It's not anything terminal here. These are games, and it's important you approach it as a game, because when you plan a game, you develop a strategy, and you know the plays and the players, and you make a move, and you anticipate a counter move. This is just like that, same thing. So you have in this market, you got buyers, sellers, realtors, lenders. And on the real estate side, and this is just the real estate side, there's a business portion to this also. And you can't do everything, because if you try to do everything, you won't get anything done. That's an issue. I can guarantee you that. So you have new construction. That's a market where you can buy money or sell money for new construction on properties. You also have acquisitions. That's for people buying money to acquire income properties. And the thing about the properties, you don't want to just buy commercial property. You got to buy the right stuff to get the finance. You got to buy the right stuff. You got to buy income properties. Not that fixer-upper stuff. No junk properties. Do no fixer-upper stuff. They have to be fixed and up to work. We don't do that. You can. I'm just saying, I help you do it. I'm just saying I don't go there. All right. And then there's refinancing. That's basically restructuring of existing debt. And then there's rehabs. That's the fixer-upper people. And then there's the hybrids, which are basically a mix of all of the others. Okay. But you can work in those markets, either buying properties for yourself, if that's what you want to do. Acquiring the financing for it is what you want to learn how to do. All right. Because you can take what I do and you can apply it to yourself to use it for your own acquisitions, or you can use it as a service you offer to others. And here's an example, because depending on what your objectives are, that's why number one is, what is it you're trying to accomplish? What are your numbers? What is the purpose? What is the focus? What is success to you? And I suggest you put it in numbers, whether it's $20,000, $100,000, $300,000, $400,000, $1 million, $2 million, $6 million, $8 million, $10 million, doesn't matter. Only thing that matters in this game is that those numbers that you say you want, the only thing that matters is that they are real to you, not me, to you. And if that's the case, and it's real and it's personal, and you're committed and you're in it to win it, then this will work for you. But if you're not sure and you're curious and not serious, it probably won't work for you. Now, having said that, I want to go now into this document creator. All right. And I've created some documents, but I want to share with you why. Now, remember, this is basically my back office. All right. So why do I need a letter of intent document creator? Well, when I was buying single family homes, I couldn't use no letters of intent. I had to always use a contract and had to put earnest money down with it to make it binding. And that little concept was because the property is being taken off the market. And in case I don't buy it, the seller should be compensated for his potential loss of sale. So I'm required to put down what they call earnest money. Well, the document creator does the same thing that a contract does, except it doesn't obligate me and it doesn't require any money. And because of the way I structure and play this specific game, I offer full price on all the deals. I don't beat anybody down. All right. So to do that, I need this document. So it creates the documents, and let me just open one up that's already done here. Okay. And here's one. Here's a profit of $3.5 million. Now, let's see here. That's the link. I want to see the document. So we'll hit edit and come down here and preview it. All right. Now, here's my 5-page LOI. Let's see if I can zoom this in a bit here. Can't get the whole screen in here, but we can get it in here. There we go. Now, let's go through this and let me explain to you why I need this. All right. This is my letter of intent. Now, it's referred to as an LOI in some circles. You can assign to it what you want: a letter of interest, a letter of intent. But personally, it's a lack of interest letter to me. I'm willing to buy anything on my terms at any price because I'm playing a different game here. I'm not emotionally attached. I'm just focused on turning numbers here, and these are paper capers. So what I'm going to do, this software actually created this entire document. All I did was fill out the blanks. It sticks the price in, the terms, the closing dates, and all I do is shoot these out. All right. And who do I shoot them out to? It lists, just go through it here. Even have a place for the sellers to reply. It even signs it for me. And it has my address and a lot of other stuff in the footer, which we don't see here on this version. And I actually shoot these out. And what do? I'm a transaction engineer. Part of structuring transactions, I have to do things. And with this, what I do is I make an offer on a property and I have terms. And I want to, if I'm not doing anything weird, it's just original, it's just stuff I've learned over the years, is under my terms, I'm going to make an offer. It's not going to be an all cash offer. It's not going to be a subject to approval offer. It's not going to be subject to seller financing. I can, but I'm not, because there's a 3-step process here. I'm going to make an offer full price, subject to the seller refinancing the property. Now you say, well, why are you doing that? Well, remember, initially, my objective was to generate capital, not assets. I wanted capital. I need liquid capital. I want to terminate my debt. You want to terminate your debt. You want to, or buy you some new shoes or something. But the objective is to acquire the capital, not the asset. You say, well, the asset generates capital. I get that. But it doesn't generate enough capital for me to pay off my debt. We want to pay off the debt, set aside at least 12 months income, at least 12, and then buy something, because then we can. And there ain't no strain. We can do no money down deals here. Now, on this particular transaction, it's a couple transactions. You need to see where I buy a property like this with an offer. And why do I do this? How do I make money or profit from actually doing this strategy of making a full price offer on any website? Okay, it doesn't make no difference to me where it is. It's a game. I play with anybody that can play. And these are the tools that I give my JV partners. That's why they have to have the tools they want to play. They got to have the tools to play. So I make the offer, and how do I profit from it? Well, why do I do it? You see, I'm trying to generate capital to pay off my debts, right? Right. Okay. But the rule is that buyers don't make money, and you're making an offer to buy, which seems contradictory and contrary to logic. I get that. Yeah. The wisdom of God confounds the foolishness of men. I get that. It's okay. So why am I making an offer? Remember, in the game, what I mentioned previously, I can be and sit at any table, any chair at that table, except the realtor chair. I will not sit there. I'm not a realtor, and I don't care to sit there. They are professional salespeople. I'm not. Okay, but I don't sit in that chair. So here I'm sitting in the buyer's chair. You see, my buyers don't make no money. Well, everybody in the market wants a buyer. I mean, the MLS and real estate agents got books and books and books to go on LoopNet and the web and find all kind of stuff for sale. Where can you go and find buyers? So everyone's looking for a buyer. So I become prey. And they are basically predators. The lenders want buyers who need to borrow. The seller wants buyers. The realtor's looking for buyers. So what do? I just become all things to all men. I become a buyer. And what do? I do what buyers do. What do buyers do? Buyers make offers. They don't talk. They make offers, then talk. So I'm going to make this offer. And what I'm actually doing is I'm forcing a refi. All right. And in the process, I'm going to get paid. Because I want to sell these sellers my lender's money. And you say, well, why would they do that? Well, at the end of the day, they have the properties up for sale. They typically want capital. I don't think they sell them because they broke. So we don't buy broke stuff, all right? Why are they selling these properties, $10, $15, $20 million? Why? They want the capital. And what I do is I get them away. I bring to the table a way for them to get at least 80% of that capital without that, and tax-free, without selling the property. And that goes back to the training in the course, the linguistic encounter, having these conversations and talking with the sellers and getting the deals done. And it's just an introduction. Once I get my letter of intent signed, all I do is forward it, my rent rolls, and my year-to-date income expense statements to my lender. And that's it. And I'm done. And I pick up 1, 2.5, 2 points on that transaction. If I want to buy the property, I can buy it. Because what? Let's say it's a $10 million property. Let's just say this property is $3 million. All right. But I'm going to pick up 2 points on it. But in another section under the strategies, I wouldn't just get the points on the loan. I even take an equity position in it, the 10% equity as a requirement, and I convert that equity to debt, which means is basically an income stream. All right. So that's what we use the document creator for. All right. And that's pretty much what the documents look like. All right. I wanted to go through that. So we have all of these, just a consulting agreement. It's the same, but the thing I want you to realize, that's most important, is that what we have here is you have all of the tools to be a deal maker built into the back office here. All right. It's not because you have in the back office, what you have is you have the training material. And I'll be getting into, over the weeks to come, more detail, step by step through this program. But in this back office, you have all of this. You have the strategies. You have the training over here. See, what I'm doing over here with this document creator, I'm simply executing what I learned over here. That's all it is. And if I can't find a buyer, I just become one. Okay, and that's why it's important to understand the game concept, because all I did was went to the sellers as a buyer, and I basically said, I'll buy your property, but you have to come over here to get the money. And right now, when the seller goes to the lender, I get paid. That's it. And then he comes back and says, well, okay, I got the money. Now I want to buy the property. And what do? Do I walk away? Nah, we make a second offer. Because we can acquire the property. I mean, buying a property is not hard to do. It's just knowing how to do it. And we don't need money to do it. Because in this case, on a $10 million deal on an 80% loan, and I get 2 points on the $8 million, it's made $160,000. And I hadn't bought anything. And then and then if I want to buy it, I simply make a second offer, and I structure it appropriately. So I assume the $8 million, and the seller to take back a second for the $2 million. And this will take it or leave it. Otherwise, I'll walk with my $160,000 and be done on one deal. All right, that's how it works, guys. And that's me being the buyer. You said, why did you become the buyer? I couldn't find any. All right, we'll wrap it up on this. And hey, hope you learned something. Hit the button. Tell me how you like this video, and if you got anything out of it. And hey, see you on the next one.